right, it's Andrew O'Donnell with the Prospector News. I'm having a good conversation. I'm really excited to find out more about this. It's Nader Elm.
That's
You're
right.
the CEO of Exyn Technogies. And this is pretty cool. We can see in the background what's happening, but I want you to walk us through what your key value here is, what your main driver is moving forward, what you've developed. You can't see the drone off to the right here, but give us a bit of a snapshot as to what's happening.
So we've developed an aerial robot. So think of a drone, but all the intelligence is on board for it to fly itself. But the unique feature about what we've developed is the fact that it does it in GPS-denied areas without requirement for communications and experts in robotics or anything like that. So a very simple training to set up the robot, point it in the direction, it'll go out and it will map three-dimensional stopes in underground situations.
So not only are you solving a very big issue problem in the mining sector, it covers off safety for one, because this is entirely autonomous. I imagine you just put it up, let it go, the sensors in it just follows down a path or follows whatever direction it goes and it starts mapping.
That's right. So what we do is we train customers. It takes about 2 hours because it's as simple as place the robot in front of a stope, point it in the direction, and on a tablet you kind of say, I want you to go map that stope, and you press play, and then the robot takes over.
And then you're mapping not only just the general map of the area, but you're getting LiDAR. What else are you picking up?
So the primary sensor on the robot is actually a three-dimensional LiDAR that we have on there. So it actually maps the environment because it needs to build its own map. That's how it figures out where it is and where it needs to go. But it also happens to be what the customers care about. The byproduct of what we do for navigation actually is the output for the customer.
This is pretty interesting because you're culminating a whole bunch of things. Let me take a step back, because people complain often that in mining we're 10 years behind. But this is something where we're stepping up into the future in a hurry with robotics, with drones, with AI, with the mapping, that you're getting to data a lot quicker. You're solving a lot of problems in a hurry.
That's right. I mean, we've noticed that there are certain industries where it's not for lack of want that the data is not accessible. It's the fact that the technology just hasn't been there. So we've got all the software tools in place right now to analyze mining plans and scheduling and all those kinds of things. The biggest challenge they've had is actually getting the data itself. That's the problem we solve because we automate that process by sending, to your point, the robots in unsafe areas where you just don't want people to go. And the robots go in, they gather the data, they come back and they gather very detailed, high resolution, accurate maps frequently and relatively cheaply so that you can drive better business decisions.
What's actually interesting too on top of that is that because you don't need to have the GPS. Now you were mentioning it before earlier, heard you talk to someone about the tethering.
Right.
So that's a key, say as a layman like myself who says, okay, we're sending the drone in and there's no GPS, is it coming back?
We've had that situation actually where because when it flies you can typically see it and it turns a corner and then you can't see it but you can hear it and after a while you can't even hear it and then you're just waiting for it to start making noises to come back. Yeah, we've identified 4 tethers we've actually severed. So the first tether is to any kind of infrastructure. So there is no GPS, there's no markers or beacons in the environment. The second tether is communications. So we don't require any communications with the back-end server. If it loses the communications, that doesn't jeopardize the mission. The third tether is maps. We don't require any prior maps. In fact, most of our missions are to build a map. And the fourth tether is to an expert. You don't need an expert in robotics or flying drones. Should be just a regular surveyor, a regular mine operator, setting up the mission and pressing play.
So that's pretty exciting. So your main customer, and you're trying to get the news out, is B2B. So you're looking for other mining companies to say, hey, we're here, this is what we do.
That's right.
We can help you get to market a lot faster or get to the next stage where you need to get to sooner.
That's right. I mean, it's very, very new technology. It's basically commercializing frontier science that's come out of research labs. We've worked on it for 3-4 years, just building the core technology, and we made it available early last year, and now it's out in markets. So for us, it's really now just driving adoption, and we sell it. We also do some service-based business, and we sell it either outright or subscription. So it just depends on what the customer prefers.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. This has been fascinating. Is there anything on the video that you wanted to point out at all, or is it?
Well, actually, so this is a perfect example. This is a flight in a deep mine in Finland, northern Finland, Lapland. And essentially it's a disused mine that's going to be recommissioned, and the new buyer, the new owner, wanted to find out exactly what they bought. So we're sending in the robot into a very complex stope. And what you're seeing over here is basically the LiDAR itself. It generates 300,000 measurements every second.
Wow.
So this flight in total took about 3 minutes, and it's mapping the stope in real time. So as long as you've got communications, you can actually see this on your tablet in real time. But inevitably you will lose communications, but that's okay. The robot will come back, and once it's back, you'll get this map, which is basically it was actually quite interesting to see the reactions of the mine owner when they saw this. They had no idea that this had these particular features. So this is the first time they were actually seeing their own mine.
That's excellent. Now, is this a real-time video on top of the camera as well, or is this?
No, this is a third-party view.
Okay, yes.
We do have cameras on board, but the stopes are dark, so you're not going to see much.
No. Okay, that's fascinating. And I'm lucky we caught that with Rupert Resources. So once again, thanks for your time. That was wonderful, Nader.
Appreciate it.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Same to you. Okay, cheers.